At first light, the jungle does not wake so much as it tightens. The air thickens, holding heat from the night like a secret it refuses to release. Dew clings to leaves the size of doors, each droplet trembling with the weight of unseen movement. Somewhere high above, a branch creaks and then stills, as if the forest itself has decided to listen before it breathes again. Evan had learned early that the jungle punished hurry. He moved slowly, boots testing earth before committing weight, eyes tracking shadows that slid when he wasn't looking directly at them. He had come alone, not out of arrogance, but because solitude was the only way to hear what the jungle said when it thought no one was listening. His pack was light, his knife sharp, his mind quieter than it had been in years. That quiet was fragile. The jungle knew it. A distant call rippled through the trees, low, throaty, and close enough to feel in the chest. Evan froze. It wasn't a warning call. It wasn't a greeting. It was a claim. He counted his breaths, feeling the damp heat bead along his spine. The jungle did not care who you were or what you wanted. It cared only about balance, and it would correct you if you leaned too far. He stepped around a fallen trunk webbed with vines and found the river. It slid past with deceptive calm, brown and swollen, carrying leaves, insects, and the occasional glint of bone. He knelt to drink, filtering water with practiced motions, when the surface broke without sound. A pair of eyes surfaced, dark and ancient, then vanished again. Crocodile. Not hunting. Watching. Evan backed away without turning his back, the skin at his neck buzzing like static. By midday the heat pressed down with physical weight. Insects stitched the air with sound. Evan followed a game trail etched by generations of hooves and claws, each bend a decision made long before he arrived. He saw signs everywhere. Bark scraped clean, a shallow depression still warm, feathers arranged too, neatly to be accident. Predation wasn't chaos here. It was art. The first mistake came quietly. He reached to steady himself on a tree and felt the wrong texture. Slick, alive. Pain flared up his arm like fire, and he jerked back, heart slamming. A vine snake recoiled, offended more than afraid. Evan wrapped his arm, jaw tight, and waited for dizziness that never came. Dry bite, maybe, or mercy. He did not thank the jungle out loud. Gratitude was a promise it would collect later. Clouds gathered with sudden intent, turning the light green and dim. Rain arrived like a verdict, drenching everything in seconds. The trail dissolved. Evan sought higher ground, boots sliding, lungs burning. Thunder rolled, close enough to rattle teeth. He slipped, caught himself, and in that instant of imbalance felt the eyes again. Not the crocodiles, but something higher, lighter, curious. A jaguar crossed the path ahead, silent as a thought. It paused, muscles rippling beneath rosette fur, and looked back, not at Evan's face, but at the space where his breath disturbed the rain. The jungle held its breath. Then the jaguar melted into green, leaving behind the echo of power restrained. Evan laughed once, softly, the sound swallowed immediately. He knew better than to read meaning into it, but the message was clear enough. You are noticed. As evening fell, the jungle shifted. Day hunters surrendered to night specialists, and the air filled with clicks, churs, and whistles layered so thickly they felt architectural. Evan made camp on a rise, fire minimal, light disciplined. He ate without ceremony and listened. Somewhere, something large moved with purpose. He did not imagine himself alone. Sleep came in fragments, dreams tangled with sound, and he woke to find the fire reduced to embers and the darkness alive with eyes. Not all of them were real. He checked his pack. Intact. Knife where it should be. Breath steady. He waited until dawn bled thin gold through the leaves. The second mistake was arrogance disguised as confidence. He decided to cut cross-country to save time, ignoring the way the jungle subtly resisted his direction. Vines snagged, thorns bit, the ground softened, then gave. He dropped into mud up to his thighs, the smell of rot rising like a warning. Panic scratched at him, and he forced it down, inching free with patience he had nearly forgotten. When he stood, something had changed. The The soundscape thinned. Birds fell silent. The jungle's attention narrowed. Evan felt it then, the sense of being gently herded. He moved toward a stand of trees that looked older, heavier, their roots arching like ribs. A clearing opened, small and circular, the ground scuffed clean. He understood too late. The jungle did not chase. It arranged meetings. A shape detached from shadow at the clearing's edge, tall and striped, moving with the calm of something that had never doubted its place. The tiger did not rush. It did not need to. Evan raised his arms, made himself large, backed away slowly. The tiger's ears flicked. Its tail traced a question in the air. Time stretched thin. Evan's thoughts sharpened to points. Wind direction, distance, the knife that would be useless at that range. He did not run. He met the tiger's gaze without challenging it. Breathing measured, present in a way his life before had never demanded. The tiger stepped forward once, testing. Evan held. Another step, closer now, the animal's whiskers trembling as it tasted the air. Then, inexplicably, it stopped. The jungle exhaled. The tiger turned, slipping back into green as if it had never been. Evan sagged, knees weak, a laugh tearing out of him that sounded like a sob. He did not stay. He did not look back. He followed the jungle's paths when they appeared and waited when they vanished. By the time he reached the river again, the water had dropped, revealing stones polished by centuries of passing. He crossed with care, the crocodile absent or patient. On the far bank, the trees thinned, and the light opened like a door. Evan paused at the edge and turned once more to the jungle. It did not acknowledge him. It never had. He left with nothing he could show and everything he could feel. A humility etched into muscle and bone, a quiet that no city would ever quite erase. The jungle closed behind him, resuming its breath, already forgetting his name.